Picture this. It's 9 p.m. and you are finally getting cozy on the couch after, oh wow, after an entire day of watching the kids. They've been literally hanging on you. Maybe you've been breastfeeding. They've been touching you all day long. So you are just ready to relax, right?
Done.
But now your partner comes up to you and they start just like lovingly, tenderly stroking your back and your shoulders. And you feel yourself just instantly recoil. It's like every cell in your body is just screaming, "Do not touch me." Today, we are talking about being touched out, and specifically how to explain this to your partner. So a lot of women these days have heard of the phrase touched out. It basically means when you have been having physical contact with your kids, it could be with pets, even other people that you're taking care of. You've been having this physical contact all day long and you literally get touched out. You can't have any more touch. So we've talked about this a lot on our Instagram account, and women are always really thankful to have this conversation, but a lot of them will tell us, how do I explain this to my partner? My partner just doesn't get it. And so my partner will like feel me recoil from their touch and be like, what the heck? Like, I was just trying to give you a nice back rub. Like, why are you treating me this way? So today we are going to get into how to describe this very common and very harmful experience to your partner. Before we go any further though, we want to hear from you. Have you ever felt touched out? Even if you didn't realize this was a thing, there's even a name for it. Have you had this experience? So let us know down in the comments box below.
All right, if you're brand new to our channel, then we first just want to say hi. We are Vanessa and Xander Marin. Vanessa here is a sex therapist. We've been together for 14 years. Also, these cute little faces behind us or beside us, who knows where they are? These are our pugs, Maggie and Winston.
And our account is all about giving you the tools, tips, and techniques that you need to create a truly extraordinary relationship inside of the bedroom and out. So go ahead and just hit that subscribe button if you are interested in that.
All right, so let's get into it, shall we? So we've already established that you're touched out. That's why you're watching this video. First, we just want to validate the fact that feeling touched out, it is totally normal and it is totally common and totally understandable. Like if you have been literally touched all day, you know, like you can eat food all day and be full, so why can't you be touched all day and then be touched out? Sounds pretty logical to me. The other thing I want to say though is that it does not make you a bad partner and it doesn't make you a bad parent. This is a normal thing. It doesn't say anything about you. It's not some failing of yours. But we do want to say there are ways to work with it so that it passes. So how do we explain this to your partner, especially if they don't seem to get it or maybe they don't believe you?
I think this does tend to come up a lot with men in particular, you know, that they haven't had that same experience and they just really don't understand what that means. So we'll talk about like some of the gender dynamics that can come up too.
All right, so the first thing is that you want to tell them what is going on in a non-combative setting. So like, don't wait for an argument. Ideally, don't do it in the moment when you are feeling touched out.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, like, you know, that's a hard time to try to explain. Oh my God, it's so horrible. Like, no, wait for a neutral setting.
So the most important thing that you want to convey to your partner is that it's not about them. So I think the thing that makes this touched out reaction so complicated in relationships is that it's very easy for your partner to think that you're reacting to them.
Yeah, they just touched you.
Yeah, it's like, I just touch you and you're like pulling away from me. Like, what does that mean? And it can feel really scary to feel like the person that you love the most in this world, like, especially if you're just going in for like a little hug or like trying to hold their hand, like to feel them recoil that way. So you really need to help your partner understand it is not about you. It is what has been going on in my entire day leading up to this touch. So it's not that I don't want you to be around. It's not that I'm not in love with you anymore. I don't ever want you to touch me again. Like, it's about what I've gone through today. So it can be really helpful to actually walk your partner through the touch that you experienced all day. And I think this can be particularly useful if maybe you're a stay-at-home parent and your partner is out of the house. Maybe they're not even seeing what it is that you're going through all day. So you can sort of walk them through like, yeah, this is, you know, from this hour to this hour, this is what was going on. The kids needed me in this way. I was breastfeeding for this long. Like, literally walk them through so they get this full picture of all of this touch that you're experiencing all day long. Another thing that can come up for a lot of new moms in particular is you already feel like your relationship with your body has really changed. So you've just gone through pregnancy, all these changes. Now the baby's here. It maybe is, it is relying on you for survival. You might just feel uncomfortable or not at home in your own body. So including that in this description to your partner can be really beneficial as well. Is this feeling of like, my body doesn't feel like mine anymore. And so when you touch me, it's just kind of this reminder of like how alien I feel in my own skin. The other thing that you want to convey to your partner is like being touched out, it's not an incurable thing. It's not like all of a sudden, you've hit your touched out threshold and you can never be touched ever again.
Yeah,
like,
it's not permanent.
Exactly. Like what happens is that you just need time to regroup. So this can be one of the most valuable aspects of the conversation is like explaining to your partner how they can support you in you reconnecting with your own body. So basically you just need a little bit of time to like come home to your own skin, feel like your body is your own. Nobody else is needing anything from your body or trying to touch your body in any way. So we've found, with the couples that we've worked with, that alone time in particular can be really, really beneficial. So you can ask your partner, like, are there ways that we can kind of switch up our schedule where you can allow me to have some alone time, even if all that you can manage on certain days is like 5 minutes or something like that. And finally, another part of the conversation that you might want to have is to talk about how you and your partner might want to split up your workload. So a lot of times women in particular can feel touched out if they've been taking on like all of the childcare responsibilities, all of the household responsibilities. It can just feel like you're overwhelmed. You've got too much on your plate. And sometimes our bodies register how stressed out and overwhelmed our brains are. So that's why you're having like such a strong bodily reaction. So we just really quickly wanted to mention that we have a mental load workbook. It's a great exercise for seriously any couple, and it'll help you get really crystal clear on what are all of your household responsibilities and figuring out how to divide them up in a way that feels right and equitable and good to the two of you. It's going to be different for every couple, every relationship, of course, but it's just such a huge relief to like have this process of splitting that workload up and getting really clear on who's doing what.
And at the end of the day, it is okay if your partner doesn't fully get it, especially if your partner is a guy. He's never gonna know what it feels like to have another human being literally relying on their body for survival.
Yeah.
But, one idea, if you want to try to make a comparison that he might be able to understand better, especially if he works outside of the house all the time, is you could compare it to a job. You could say, like if I were a chef and I'm cooking all day, when I get home from work, I'm not going to be very excited about immediately getting into the kitchen and cooking dinner. Like I'm cooked out. Right? But that doesn't mean that you're never going to cook again. Like I bet on your day off, if you're not cooking all day, then you're probably excited like, hey, let's cook a meal. So, making these kind of comparisons can also be really helpful. The bottom line is that even if your partner doesn't understand it fully, they should still be able to support you.
Yeah, so it's like, it's fine if your partner doesn't get it, but they still need to be there to support you and to, talk about different ways that you guys can be a team in dealing with this.
So the bottom line is this feeling is not going to last forever, and neither will this season of life. That's, I think, an easy thing to forget about in the moment, but important to just continuously remind yourself about. You're also allowed to have a relationship with your own body, and taking some time for yourself to reconnect can be super helpful. And I just want to remind you as well, it is okay to ask for what you need to feel better.
All right, well, that wraps up our video on how to explain feeling touched out to your partner. And again, we will link to that mental load workbook in the description box below.
All right, if you like this video, please help us out. Give it a like, hit the red button to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the notification icon so you keep getting notified when we post more videos.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.